Hi everybody, welcome to your weekly forecast for Monday, April 18th through Sunday, April 24th. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of my subscribers for your continued support. And if you're new to my channel and you like this video, please like and share and subscribe to my channel. Also check out my monthly forecasts, and in the description box below, there's links to a couple things if you would like to have your chart done. Okay, there's a link there to my website too that will give you a little bit more things to choose from, let's put it that way. So, there are a bunch of aspects on Monday, April 18th, and then the next one is until Sunday. But this is enough actually for this to carry on maybe a day or two after Monday, even maybe the day before. But okay, so the major aspects for this week on Monday, April 18th. Okay, Mercury in Taurus sextiles Venus in Pisces. And also on this day, Mercury in Taurus conjuncts Uranus in Taurus. And also on this day, Venus in Pisces sextiles Uranus in Taurus, and then the Sun in Aries squares Pluto in Capricorn. So there's this interaction between Mercury and Taurus and Venus in Pisces. So actually a really nice combination, but I'll get to that when I get to everyone's individual forecast. So on Wednesday, the 20th, the Sun does move into Taurus, okay? And on Sunday, April 24th, again, Mercury in Taurus sextiles Neptune in Pisces, and also Mercury in Taurus squares Saturn in Aquarius. So, whatever sign comes up next, we'll get right to it. So, for Taurus, okay, on Monday, April 18th, Mercury in Taurus in your first house sextiles Venus in Pisces in your 11th house. Also on the same day, Mercury in Taurus in your first house conjuncts Uranus in Taurus in your first house. And Venus in Pisces in your 11th house sextiles Uranus transiting in your first house of Taurus. And also on this day, the Sun in Aries in your 12th house squares Pluto transiting in your 9th house of Capricorn. So you've got an awful lot of interaction between your 11th and your 1st house with Venus and Mercury. Back and forth, okay, which actually is like really, really nice. Okay, your 11th house is your most sociable house. It's your friends and acquaintances, where you would normally go to hang out if you're socializing in person. Okay, it's also social media. It's an internet house, so you could be socializing online. You know, this is any kind of group or organization also, though, that you belong to, and it's the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. I would have to say that your interaction is between you and a group of friends, or you and one friend in particular. This could be possibly a new friend that has come into your life, having Jupiter in your 11th house right now, along with Neptune in Pisces. Both planets in Pisces does bring a new person into your group of friends. So you could find that you have an awful lot in common with this person, or you are gravitating towards one another. You know, could be like romance. There could be a budding romance going on here that seems to be a little bit of a secret right now. Maybe you're not even aware of it yourself, you know. But this Mercury conjunct Uranus, okay, in Taurus, in your first house, means that it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic or even something with a friend. It's just that the interaction is between these two houses more than anything. But on this day, you could blurt out anything practically. Mercury conjunct Uranus is a unplanned conversation, possibly, that you could have with someone. It's a pleasant one, though, too. And it's could be, again, regarding romance or good feelings towards one another. You know what I mean? Or a very nice conversation that you're having with someone you could reveal, just blurt out, reveal your true feelings for someone at this time, and vice versa. But to me, it looks like you're the one that's initiating the conversation or the communication. Doesn't even necessarily have to be a conversation. You could be sending a text message, an email, voicemail, something or other, or even a regular everyday postal letter or card or something like that. Now, on this same day with the sun in your 12th house of Aries, the 12th house of secrets and confidences and actions taken by you or others behind the scenes, you know, with the square to Pluto in your 9th house of Capricorn, could be, you know, 9th house is many things, but it's people that are different than you in some way or other. This is the house of foreign anything, foreign people, foreign cultures, or again, someone that has a completely different background than you, or they're different from you in some way or other. So maybe that is what the attraction is. Maybe this person is unlike anybody you've ever been attracted to before. Maybe you don't want people to, you know about it, or this other person doesn't either. You're keeping it under wraps for now, you know, but they could be, you could be dating someone, let's say, from a different race, or an alien, from a different planet. Not really, but who knows, right? The point is there's, I believe, something very nice going on this day, but it's something that you're not really putting out there for the whole world to see just yet anyway. On Sunday, April 24th, Mercury in Taurus in your 1st house, sextiles Neptune, transiting in your 11th house of Pisces. And also on this day, Mercury in Taurus in your 1st house, square Saturn, transiting in your 10th house of Aquarius. So this is like a nice day also. I believe that it's a continuation of something to do with, you know, your friends, socializing in some way or other, or a particular friend, okay? But you may have to work, you know, the square from your 1st house Mercury to Saturn in your 10th just means that work, you know, rears its ugly head, you know, and lets you know that you have, you know, there's priorities you have, you know, what are they? But you know what, this is a Sunday, so most people are off on Sundays, but maybe you're not. But, you know, to me it just looks like you may have to work or something on a day that you had not planned on working. Maybe you're pulled away from some kind of plans that you made with this person I was just talking about, and now you know, whatever, you could get together with them on another day. So for Libra, on Monday, April 18th, Mercury in Taurus in your 8th house, sextiles Venus in Pisces in your 6th house. And also on this day, Mercury in Taurus in your 8th house conjuncts Uranus, transiting in Taurus in your 8th house. And again on this day, Venus in Pisces in your 6th house, sextiles Uranus, transiting in your 8th house of Taurus. And also the Sun in Aries in your 7th house, squares Pluto, transiting in your 4th house of Capricorn. So your interaction between Venus and Mercury are to and from your 8th and your 6th house, okay? 8th where you have Taurus, 6th where you have Pisces. Okay, 8th house is other people's money and resources. It's jointly held property with a partner, even that you may have bank accounts, actual, like physical, real property. Also credit cards, things like that. But it's also money coming to you through means other than earning it. It's passive money. Insurance payouts, legal settlements, things like that, refunds, tax refunds, inheritance and legacies. From the 6th house, though, you know, the 6th house is like the workplace and the kind of work that you do. Having Jupiter and Neptune transiting here at this time, along with Venus, does kind of denote like pretty good relations with your co-workers and your superiors and stuff like that. Any kind of a client, if you're self-employed, or even if you don't work at all, this, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, the 6th house is also the house of service, okay? So which means, you know, it's some kind of an arrangement that you have with someone where they do something for you and you do something for them, because you both need help in some way or other. So you both benefit in some way. This could be like one of those setups, but here's the thing is that Mercury conjunct Uranus in your 8th house brings about a very unexpected conversation or communication or an occurrence happening wherever the transit's taking place, and that would be in your 8th house, of like all these things that I just said about money and whatever. To me, though, it looks like you could be on the receiving end of, you know, being some kind of communication letting you know that you're receiving something, some kind of money, or it doesn't always have to be money. It could be, this is resources of any kind. So someone could actually be leaving you something as far as a legacy goes, or just wanting you to have something totally out of the blue. As long as this planet Uranus is here, you're always going to have unexpected events in this area. Okay, so you might want to keep that in mind. That you could win money totally out of the blue. Okay, so this might be a day, I would, if I were you, play the lottery at least. You know, small wager here and there, even if it's a rub-off ticket or something. You just never know. But you could be... someone could just like someone that you work with, okay, or someone who feels that you do a lot for them, or vice versa, could gift you with something at this time, and it could be like a pretty big deal, okay. This interaction between Mercury and Venus is something pleasant that's happening back and forth, okay. So it's either occurring in your work life, or it could be like family, though, even, or someone that you live with. They're trying to, I don't know, you're maybe sharing things, whatever, you know, maybe at one point, maybe you both jointly held some kind of property, and maybe one of you is saying, I don't want it anymore, you can have it, instead of saying, buy me out. Maybe someone's doing that with you. They're just giving it to you, you know, that there's no strings attached. You know, it could be whatever, you know, like the sun is in your 7th house of partnerships, okay, in Aries. Aries is your opposite sign, so, you know, Mars and whatever is going to be moving here soon enough, so this is going to be your focal point for a while, okay, close relationships. This is business, romantic, or friends, you know, something like that. Now, the square to Pluto in your 4th house of your home life. Okay, so this could be your, you know, your home life, your spouse, someone you live with, or it could even be a roommate. But right now, if there were any problems that were going on there as far as a compromise or arrangement or agreement goes, okay, looks like it's working out for the better. You know, you are... you're both able to at least, you know, give and take a little bit more than possibly maybe you were before, okay? On Sunday, April 24th, Mercury in Taurus in your 8th house sextiles Neptune, transiting in your 6th house of Pisces. On the same day, Mercury in Taurus in your 8th house squares Saturn, transiting in your 5th house of Aquarius. Okay, so we're back to, you know, the give and take whole kind of thing. Now this square from your 8th house to your 5th house, where you have Saturn, 5th house is romance, creativity, children, gambling and speculation, fun of any kind, you know, entertainment of any kind, sports, games. So, you know, this could be in regards to, we're back to, like I said, the give and take. In regards to a child, to children, maybe doing what's best for them, you know, maybe this whole, you know, arrangement or agreement that you may be having with someone right now. Or it could be just that, you know, 8th house, like I said again, is a money house. Maybe you just want to do something fun, you know, that, or maybe you want to take a small trip even if it's just like a weekend trip or a you know, a road trip of some kind, but you just don't have the money. or maybe you want to borrow it, but you're unable to do that at this time. The person who would normally lend it to you, maybe they're not able to, or they won't for whatever reason, but it kind of looks like they just don't have it to lend to you. So it could be anything, but it doesn't seem to be too big of a deal. Okay. Okay, so there's all my papers. For Leo, okay, on Monday, April 18th, Mercury in Taurus in your 10th house, sextiles Venus, transiting in your 8th house of Pisces. Also on the same day, Mercury in Taurus in your 10th house, conjunct Uranus in Taurus in your 10th house. And also on this day, Venus in Pisces in your 8th house, sextiles Uranus, transiting in your 10th house of Taurus. And lastly on this day, okay, the Sun in Aries in your 9th house, squares Pluto, transiting in your 6th house of Capricorn. So you have all this interaction, okay, between your 8th and 10th house. 8th house where you have Pisces, 10th house is where you have Taurus, you know. So this is your most public house. Your 10th house cusp is also known as the midheaven. Okay, so if you ever hear that term, that's what that is. It's the very top of your chart. This is how, okay, people see that, how they view you and speak about you publicly, how you're known by reputation, professionally and personally. Okay, now having this planet Uranus here has led to an awful lot of speculation in this area. If you haven't been out, you know, somewhere, you know, where people can see you and they know what the hell you're up to, you know, nosy people sometimes, inquiring minds want to know, you know, just anything about you. You know, you're like really interesting to people all of a sudden. Not like you weren't before, but now, you know, people are just like asking about you all the time. And a lot of times when people don't know anything, you know, they speculate, and so a lot of times this brings about these really wild rumors about you, you know. I mean, they could have you, and some of them are really, I think, kind of neat. You know, they could have you hooked up with, you know, some big time celebrity, and you're off, you know, I don't know, sailing around the Caribbean or something, like visiting islands or whatever, you know. Meanwhile, you're just sitting at home watching TV or, you know, whatever. But you know how people are. And this is kind of like one of those times, but it's actually kind of fun, okay, because the Venus is involved here, but this Mercury conjunct Uranus in your 10th house, it does bring about a very sudden communication. It's a lot of times it's a conversation, and it could be even you saying something, just blurting something out. This is the unexpected conversation, the unexpected communication, okay, from you or to you or about you, okay. You know, so I would keep my ears open on this day, but it's in regards to I'd have to say your love life. You know, people are speculating about your love life, or just anything about you, what you've been up to, even socially. Also, though, this being your 10th house of career, you could actually receive an offer at this time for, you know, totally out of the blue, for a job that you'd love to have, you know, but maybe you don't see yourself as that person, you know, that it's just like something you haven't done in the past. It's something totally new. You're not sure if you can do it. You know what? Always say yes. Always say yes when someone offers you something like this, because half the time the people that were there before you, they didn't know what the hell they were doing either, right? Every job is different, but people would not be approaching you and asking you to do stuff if they didn't think you could do it, right? They're not stupid. So if somebody gives you even a bizarre offer, and I would have to say that it's something to do with Venus-related things, such as art, fashion, you know, anything creative, I would have to, you know, say along those lines, I'd say yes, definitely say yes. Now, because the 8th house here is involved, okay, where you have Pisces, somebody could just give you something at this time, you know. It could be like a pretty big deal. It could be, I don't want to say an award, you know, but it could be publicly you know, bestowed upon you in some kind of ceremony or something like that, something a little different, you know. If you do work for someone else, you know, a company or something like that, it could be some kind of an award through there. And it could be cash, could be monetary, or just some kind of perk that you get from your job that no one else has, okay? Also on this day, though, the sun in Aries in your 9th house squares Pluto, transiting in your 6th house of Capricorn. So, you know, the 6th house is the workplace again. It's the kind of work that you do, your co-workers. You know, lots of changes have already gone on there. All you have now transiting there is Pluto. But you had a very crowded house at one time here, like recently. So tons of changes went down in the workplace, or the kind of work that you do has changed, you know, or you're retired, or you don't work at all, or you have some other form of income or other right now. But this square from your 9th to your 6th house just means that, you know, it could be, 9th house is lots of things, but it is the house of higher learning and knowledge. And I always say this when I come to transits that you're having, is that you more than likely have knowledge or are more experienced in a certain you know, field or subject or something like that than your co-workers, or maybe even your boss. You know, that's another thing. Somebody could just be totally wiped out of your whole area. You know, they're gone. A big boss or somebody, you know, or a mentor, somebody that has a position over you, they're just gone for some reason. They up and quit, they get a better offer, or something happens in their life that takes them out of the scene, and you're just thrown in their position. Okay, so that's another possibility. Okay, so on Sunday, April 24th, Mercury in Taurus in your 10th house, sextiles Neptune, transiting in your 8th house of Pisces. And also on this day, Mercury in Taurus in your 10th house, squares Saturn, transiting in your 7th house of Aquarius. So, you know, not a bad aspect, actually, that Mercury squares Saturn in your 7th house of partnerships and close relationships, and, you know, Aquarius being your opposite sign and having Saturn here right now. You know, your close relationships are a little bit kind of stuffy right now. You know, you may feel that they're holding you back and restricting you in some way. And this could be one of those times. You may be given a really nice opportunity to do something, be part of something or other as far as your career goes, or just something fun, something that you would enjoy doing. And maybe, you know, whomever, it could even be like a close friend that, you know, I don't want to say they don't want you to do it, but they're, maybe you had already had plans with them or something or other, but whoever you're in a close relationship with, they may like, I don't know, scoff at whatever it is that you're going to do. Maybe it does to them sound too good to be true, but you know what, where the planet Uranus is in effect, all kinds of stuff are possible, so you really can't rule that out. You know, it's something very far-fetched happening. Okay. So for Pisces, on Monday, April 18th, Mercury in Taurus in your, let's see, 3rd house, sextiles Venus, transiting in your 1st house of Pisces. On the same day, Mercury in Taurus in your 3rd house, conjunct Uranus in your 3rd house of Taurus. And again, on this day, Venus in Pisces in your 1st house, sextiles Uranus, transiting in Taurus in your 3rd house. And then, lastly, the Sun in Aries in your 2nd house, squares Pluto, transiting in your 11th house of Capricorn. So we have this interaction between Venus and Mercury and the planet Uranus in your 1st house of Pisces. Okay, we have Venus, and then Mercury in your 3rd house of Taurus. Okay, Mercury is the natural ruling planet of the 3rd house. It's a big communication house, so I think that it might affect you a little bit more than some signs. Maybe Taurus would be like the main sign affected, but you know, to me it's something pleasant happening between Venus and Mercury, brings about pleasant conversations and almost though like an avoidance of anything serious because you're just not in the mood for it. You know what I mean? You'll shy away from any kind of conversation that seems too serious for you. But this Mercury conjunct Uranus in your third house is a very unexpected and sudden communication of some kind. Could be a phone call, could be a regular postal mail, letter, voicemail, text message, email, something like that. Have to say that it's possibly something occurring like with your group of friends. Or any kind of organization that you belong to, just because of that Sun in your second house squaring Pluto in your 11th house of friends and close, groups or organizations that you belong to, and your second house being your house of income and money, okay? But these are all pleasant happenings, you know what I mean? You could, though, have a conversation, let's say like with a sibling, cousin, or your neighbors, okay, that's a third house thing here, that you hadn't planned on having. They could give you news that you had no idea what was going on, let's say like even in your own neighborhood. Very newsy day, I'd have to say. And a lot of it, like I said, is very unexpected, how it's delivered to you, even in such a way that you know, it's something, I believe it's good news, because Venus, like I said, is active here. And, you know, you could just hear from somebody that you used to go to school with, okay? Somebody from an old neighborhood even, that brings like, I don't want to say a bit of relief into your life, but something different than like your everyday. You know, it's a little bit more interesting. You're glad to see this person. The Sun square Pluto, okay, Sun in your second house, maybe you might have to dish out a little bit of money, you know, to have a good time with your friend, or do something. Maybe the reason they're contacting you is to attend some kind of event, and it looks to me like you'll find a way to do that because you would really like to do this. You would really like to see this person. Okay, on Sunday, April 24th, Mercury in Taurus in your third house, sextiles Neptune, transiting in your first house of Pisces. And on the same day, Mercury in your third house in Taurus square Saturn, transiting in your 12th house of Aquarius. So this is, you know, another thing, not a big deal at all. The nice sextile to Neptune in your first house does bring about another nice, like, communication of some kind, conversation that could get a bit esoteric when it comes to, I don't know, spiritual beliefs and, you know, just anything that takes you away from the ordinary and everyday, okay? Now, the square from Mercury to Saturn in your 12th house isn't a big deal either there, you know what I mean? Your 12th house is the house of the subconscious mind, secrets, confidences, actions by you or anyone else in secret or in private, you know. So you could just have maybe second thoughts possibly about doing something. Saturn does rein in your fears when it's in your 12th house. It does prevent you from doing a lot of things or second guess. You constantly second guess yourself when this planet is here. So, you know, you could, it just briefly, because I believe that you'll do whatever, you know, you would like to do at this time. You have to remember, you still have Jupiter in your first house, and you should be open to, like, opportunities to do new things or to always do something you've wanted to do, like, all your life. So do it now, okay, because Jupiter's moving out of your sign in May. Okay.